Has the housing crash started? Well, take a look at this. US lost 32,000 jobs in September, says a private payroll ADP. Now, negative 32,000 jobs is meaning that if somebody gets laid off, fired, they're going to have a harder time finding a job because less jobs are out there being created. Now, the other kicker here, check this out. We are seeing under contracts decreasing year over year. If we take a look at this blue purple line, we see that we started the year with less houses under contract. Then it upticked here in the middle parts, and now it is decreasing with less houses going under contract year over year. Now flipping over here, you're seeing that that inventory is staying elevated over years past, much more inventory. Now, when I did my Excel sheet and we went over this, I believe now it's been about 4 or 5 months, we had to go back to 2016 to have more inventory. Now, I'll do that again here to see where we stack up, but we know that sellers are taking their house off the market at a fast pace, yet inventory is still elevated over the years past. So if sellers are taking their house off the market and sellers are waiting for the spring for next year, for the beginning of next year, we're probably going to see a dump of houses coming to the housing market just like we did at the beginning of this year. This is the number of listings that were entered. Now, I've been saying that in order to have a housing crash, a housing correction, we're going to need to see pain in the economy, just like we did in the second half of 2022. People started panicking, but then of course, they bailed out Silicon Valley Bank, and we saw prices drop upwards of 15% in the greater Salt Lake area, 10% nationwide. And right now, we're seeing that the news is not good, as we are seeing that the ADP report is saying 32,000 jobs less created. Now, there are talks that the government shutdown has a lot to do so that the Friday's job data, the federal job data, does not get released. And since the government is shut down, that data is not going to be released, and it hasn't been released. So we're hoping that we get some more analysis based on what's actually happening. And hopefully when the government resumes, they actually give us that report and don't say, oh, we'll just wait until next month now. But I mean, this gives a lot of concern, showing us that the economy was weakening under Biden and the numbers were not great. And now under Trump here, the last few months that we've had the job data reports coming out, 29,000 jobs, that's it, created. That's the US government Bureau of Statistics coming out. So we're now seeing that ADP is negative. Possibly that's why they're now reporting the US government jobs data as well, because that would potentially be negative as well. Now, that is all signaling. And remember, Jerome Powell stated that if you have a job, everything is great, unemployment is low, jobs being created is low. But however, if layoffs were to spike, we would see that unemployment spike pretty quickly. So is this the start of it? And we're seeing that the inventory is elevated while under contracts are now starting to drop. And both of these, last year and this year, are much lower than 2021, 2022, the pandemic years, and even 2019 prior to the pandemic. Now, I'm going to show you guys some other stuff here. If you take a look here, it doesn't stop. I mean, the inflation does not stop. It doesn't matter who's in office, what party's in office, and how are we supposed to have a soft landing when everything is increasing, from food to US employers' health insurance premiums rise 6% next year. And we're seeing that they're also, the marketplace premiums are going to potentially more than double. Now, that sounds very, very high. However, the reason that could happen is because of the Inflation Act, that was the Inflation Reduction Act that was passed in 2021. So that is going to be removed here. Essentially, people are no longer going to be able to go to the marketplace and get those excessive discounts on their health plan. And this was also going into some of the middle class, helping people be able to get more affordable health care. Now, I do believe that we do need to have healthcare available. I believe that we need to have a better healthcare system. And the Obamacare, it was on that path to give it. However, it really helped the bottom half and it really messed up the middle class. Insurance premiums did skyrocket because of the Obamacare, because it helped the lower income families, but it did not help the middle class families. So I hope that we are able to figure this out. However, we're seeing that these costs are going to go up on top of what the tariffs are doing to the industry, to the auto industry, what they're doing to food prices. And I forgot to pull it up here, but Utah ranks as the third highest state where we saw our electric bill go up 15%. Now, third highest, and this is happening nationwide as AI and these data centers are starting to use up and buy up more and more power. So you just have to ask yourself, if the job market is deteriorating, if there is no end in sight with the increases that we're going to see on the tariffs, on the premiums of insurance, on electricity, on cars, how are we going to have a soft landing when things just become more and more unaffordable and pay increases are not holding up to what we're having to pay to just survive? And I've been talking to a lot of people that make really good money and they're even struggling to balance things, to save money. So if they're getting by, I mean, we're not in a great situation here. And so we're gonna go over this a little bit more. Look, I'm going to have a Halloween event. I have one every single year. I'm going to put the description or the details in the comment down in the description as well. I would love to see you there. It's going to be Saturday, October 18th from 6 to 9. There's going to be a trunk competition. So if you want to participate, if you don't, there's going to be a magician, a photo booth, bounce house, cinnamon rolls, hot chocolate. It's going to be an amazing time. It's going to be the best event in the state of Utah. So show up again. My confirmation will be down there as well if you do need a real estate agent. But that information is going to be down below. And then if you haven't yet, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, help me get this video in front of more people. And then when you do need a real estate agent in Utah, Denko the Realtor has your back. So right here, we are seeing that this number of listings entered. So this is this blue purple line at the top. You're seeing that the amount of listings that we have entered year over year has gotten as high as 1,000 here if we go into the spring months. Now we're seeing that it's still elevated, the number of listings that are being entered, but we know sellers are also taking their house off the market at a fast pace. And yet we are still, with sellers taking their house off the market, we're still seeing an elevated year over year and years past inventory levels. So you just have to ask yourself, what is going to happen here? Are we going to have, if the recession does come in, right here, these number of listings entered, you have to think that there's a good potential that in 2026 we have more inventory hitting the market. So let's say the green line is going to be above this orange and this blue purple line, and all of a sudden we have even more inventory coming in, and then our under contracts going to continue declining. I mean, if we have unaffordability crisis continuing to increase and we have under contracts going down, we have the amount of listings coming, I mean, I really would like to also see what you guys have to say in the comments, what you're experiencing with the increases in the grocery bill, with insurance premiums, with the electricity bill. Where do you think we are headed? I would actually love to hear that from you as well. And remember, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, get the video in front of more people. And below it, there's going to be a comment and in the description my contact information when you do need a real estate agent. But don't forget about the Halloween event, October 18th. It's a Saturday, 6 to 9. It's a fun time. A magician. There's going to be a photo booth, bounce house, hot chocolate, and I would love to see you there.